We want to take a few moments to give some recognition to some special guests. One of the things that the new Pennsylvania Arts Education Network members decided to do in the interest, again, of recognizing arts leadership, arts education leadership in particular, and encouraging others to do likewise in the future, was to establish a couple of awards that are intended to be given out on an annual basis. And we're going to take a few moments to present those awards today. I want to draw your attention to the page 2 of the program that lists all of the members of the network steering committee. This, again, is an unprecedented coalition of arts and arts education and arts advocacy organizations working together to develop a common policy ask, policy messages, advocacy messages, and some advocacy strategies. And for those who are at home, I'm going to quickly mention them. It's a fairly long list, but I'll run through it quickly because they are so key, and again, this is unprecedented. But we have the Pennsylvania Alliance for Arts Education, Pennsylvania Music Educators Association, Pennsylvania PTA, Pennsylvania Art Education Association, Citizens for the Arts in Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Association for the Education of Young Children, Pennsylvania Museums, Public Citizens for Children and Youth, the Pennsylvania Humanities Council, Progressive Music, it's located in Western Pennsylvania, Crayola, the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance, Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators, the Pennsylvania Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, Jump Street, Pennsylvania State Education Association, their Fine Arts Caucus, the Arts Education Collaborative, the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council, the Pennsylvania State Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, and the American Alliance for Theater and Education, and 3 individuals who have been a part of the steering committee as well, largely in recognition of their past service and their expertise then, their past service as advisors in the Department of Education, and they are Beth Cornell, Jamie Casper, and Clyde McGeary, and I think all 3 of those individuals are with us. So that's the steering committee for the network. As I've mentioned before, this is a coalition of organizations and individuals. So for others who may want more information about the network, who may want to sign up and become a member yourself individually or with your organization, go to artseducationpa.org, and there's pertinent information there. So let me first of all pick up what I dropped. Had to see what it was. Those were not the vital notes. We've got 3 recognitions to award today. The first award is intended for school board leadership. The network members recognize that in Pennsylvania, where we do not have a statewide curriculum and where we do not have statewide graduation requirements, the decisions that get made by school boards and other school leaders in the district are absolutely vital to assuring the vitality of an arts education program and an arts education experience for all students in a school district. There are lots of school districts doing great things, but to get us started in this first year, the steering committee chose to recognize the South Fayette Township School Board. I'm not going to read all of the material that's on page 5 of the program, but again, for those who are simply listening in, I want to highlight some of the reasons for this award. The South Fayette Township School Board is receiving the award due to its deep commitment to sustaining and expanding arts education in the South Fayette Township School District, even during difficult financial times. All students in the district are offered opportunities for both art and music education. Recently, the school board voted to expand the South Fayette Township K-4 Arts Alive Performing Arts program to 5th grade students. In addition, at the recommendation of the school board, the school district has committed financial resources to conduct a self-assessment of its art, music, theater, and dance programs, and to develop comprehensive K-12 music and visual arts curricula. The school board has also voted to build a district-wide student orchestra and to expand its theater program to include a young playwrights component. In addition, the school board and district administration work together to provide many professional development opportunities for arts educators and its school district administrators. In addition, the school board has led the drive to develop partnerships with community arts organizations to support several artists in residence and to host 2 regional arts education days. There's a whole team from the South Fayette Township School District here. I'm going to present this award to the school board president, Bill Newcomer, and I ask Bill to come forward and then also introduce the rest of your team who is here today. But please express all of our appreciation to the South Fayette Township School Board. Bill. There you go. Somebody may want to take a picture out here, so let me get out of the way. I'll move out here. You hold that up here. And let me also, I'll introduce one other team member because she's been such a good friend to EPLC, Billy Rondinelli, superintendent of the school district. And I'll rely on Bill and Billy to introduce the rest of the team that's with us.
Mr. Newcomer is our board president this year, and we thank him and the board for their support with us. And if they would just stand for a moment, please. We have teacher Kristen Deichler, who is representing the staff, as well as the South Fayette Education Association. We have teacher Laura LeBlanc. We also have our Allegheny Intermediate Unit executive director. She was my predecessor. She's a primary reason as to why we continue the tradition in the arts. And we also have Jamie Casper, who is here from the Arts Education Collaborative. And we're indebted to the Arts Education Collaborative and Dr. Sarah Tambucci for this nomination. And Mr. Newcomer?
Okay. Thank you. On behalf of the other elected board members and our 10th board member and superintendent, Dr. Ronelli, I thank you for this recognition. We are honored for this award because it endorses our commitment to the integration of arts into our curriculum as well as our mission statement. In fact, the first sentence of our mission statement states that the mission of the South Fayette School District, in partnership with the community, is to cultivate academic, artistic, and athletic excellence. These are just not just mere words on a website for us. We take these to heart, and we feel all 3 of these areas are important when we're developing our students to be prepared for their future in adulthood. We understand that each child has different needs and skills, and some of those are in the arts. We would not be fulfilling our obligation to present those students with the best education opportunities possible if we do not offer them programs in the arts which will allow them to pursue their interest and to nurture their gifts. During these tough financial times, we have not only not cut staff in our arts program, we actually added staff to our arts department. And also, we just recently opened up a new building for an intermediate in our last August. And in that building, we have a wing just dedicated to that arts. And you'd have to see it to really appreciate it. The hallways are lined with instrument lockers, not student lockers. There's rooms for the bands and multiple instruction rooms, including for strings. And my favorite room is the Arts Alive performance room. Well, in that room, there's an area for dance with mirrors and the dance bars. You got your stage lights, performing lights, and floor lights. But the best part, it has this silhouette screen to practice, for silhouette performing. All kind of nice things in that building. We encourage all of our students to partake in as many of the arts offerings as possible. And lastly, we wouldn't be able to do this because as a board, we just present the policies. Our administrators come up with the programs, and our teachers who are truly committed actually do the execution of this. And I'm a little bit biased. I think we have the best teachers association in the state, because they are truly committed to the students of South Fayette. And anytime we ask, they go above and beyond to do whatever it takes, to help our students. And lastly, I would like to thank Sarah Tambucci of the Arts Education Collaboration for nominating the board and working with the South Fayette School District. Again, I thank you, and we're honored for this award.
The second award that the network chose to create and to award for the first time this year is intended to recognize a policy leader. One of the things that we learned at EPLC, and a lot of our partners shared this learning with us when we were developing our 2012 report, was that when we pushed folks to tell us who the champions are in Harrisburg, the policy champions for arts and arts education, folks were hard-pressed to name very many folks, many policy leaders. That doesn't mean that individuals don't do good things, take leadership positions, champion a cause from time to time, but in terms of somebody who would be recognized off the top of your head as an ongoing, continuing, effective champion, there were a few names that were put forward. But there was one name that always came to the front. Even before we put out that report in 2012, and certainly since that report, as we've worked with many partners again to try to get a legislative caucus, to try to get a arts education network, and most importantly, to try to get more effective state policy that would support arts education across the Commonwealth. I've known the Costa family for more than 40 years now. Senator Costa's father was a very prominent, long-standing, highly respected county official in Allegheny County when I was 22 and 24 years old. Senator Costa's brother, Representative Paul Costa, succeeded me as the representative in the 34th Legislative District when I chose not to run for re-election in 1998, 15 years ago already. Jay Costa was elected to the state senate in 1996, has served there since, representing a district in Allegheny County. Most importantly, though, for purposes of this recognition, he has, across his career, been an advocate for the arts and arts education. That's evidenced through the leadership positions and the supportive positions that he has taken, first of all, at home in the Pittsburgh area and in Allegheny County. It's evidenced by the role that he played as a member of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts for some 10 years before giving up that position to a colleague who had desired it. It's certainly evidenced by the leadership role that he took when Jenny Hershar, who's with us today, on behalf of Citizens for the Arts, reached out and asked if he would play a central role in the establishment of, again, a new, unprecedented legislative caucus for the arts and culture here in the Pennsylvania legislature. Senator Costa has provided that leadership. He continues with other colleagues to serve as co-chair. He and Senator Pat Brown and Representative Briggs and Representative Saylor continue as the co-chairs. But just from one guy's vantage point, I think the truth is that Jay is the glue that is holding that together and pushing it forward, and has gotten others to commit that this legislative caucus, that still needs to be tested in terms of what it will do, has made a commitment, and its members have made a commitment that this is not just going to be another thing on your letterhead, but instead it's going to be a working caucus. Members are going to educate themselves. They're going to work to educate their colleagues, and they will provide initiative and leadership around important arts and arts education issues that come before or ought to come before the Commonwealth. And so it's with all of that in mind, and for some of the other reasons that are listed in the printed program, that the Pennsylvania Arts Education Network has chosen to award the 2013 Arts Education Policy Leader Award to Senator Jay Costa. Jay?
Well, Ron, thank you very, very much. Yeah, thank you. I truly am humbled and honored to receive a very important award that no doubt will be something I think for many years to come. To me, will be very, very meaningful. Ron talked about some of the things that we've been able to do over the course of the years, and I have to say I've been very blessed to be in a position to be an advocate for the arts, and in particular arts and education. It dates back to my first coming to Harrisburg as a state senator back in 1996, as Ron mentioned. One of the first commissions or committees that I was assigned to was the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. And I will tell you that my interest in the arts grew increasingly quickly. It grew quickly, given the executive director, Philip Horn, who I find to be probably one of the greatest executive directors of arts councils in the country. And Philip, the way and the manner in which you led the council inspired me to want to do more. And over the years, our working relationship, of course, was something special to me, and I want to say thank you. And that's what allowed me to participate. And I've been blessed to be able to assume leadership roles in Harrisburg and allow me to continue the advocacy and allowing folks to understand the importance of the arts in many, many ways. So I'm very, very honored to be here today and to your all recognition of our efforts. I also want to say thank you to, of course, Ron Cow for the work that he has done. As Ron indicated, he comes from my neighborhood back in Allegheny County, and was all the work, Ron, that you've done in the area of education, and now working significantly combining the arts and education as well, and all the folks involved in helping us put the caucus together. It will be a meaningful caucus. It will not be one that is going to simply be another entry on the letterhead. We have visions working with Jenny and Mitch Swain and others to make certain that we become strong advocates for the arts, but also folks understand policy implications of the arts as well and how important they are in our schools and in our communities. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of growing to do, and I think we will be able to do that as we go forward. But also I want to end by saying thank you to all of you, for the instructors in the schools, the school board members who insist that, and the advocates who insist that arts become part of our culture. Thank you for being able to do that, because quite frankly, when you do that, it makes it easier for us, and your voices are heard by our members, and our members then convey them to our leadership folks to allow us to, again, to continue to participate and provide resources towards that end. So thank you all very much, and Ron, thank you for this wonderful honor.
The third award and the final award that we want to provide was not something that was established by the Arts Education Network, but it grew out of our planning for this symposium. One of the things we tried to do with this symposium is to highlight student art and student artists. And we reached out, Aaron Goff, who was speaking earlier today, reached out to the Pennsylvania Arts Education Association and asked if they could help us identify a piece of artwork composed by a student artist that we might be able to highlight in the promotion of this year's symposium. With the cooperation of PAEA, we were able to identify such a student and such a piece of art. It really was something that came to their attention as a part of the PAEA Artwork Youth Art Month, if I got that correct. And we really appreciate their cooperation. They identified a great young artist. Everything that you have seen in terms of the front of the brochure and a lot of the promotional materials and the award that we have presented to the two previous awardees came from this young artist. I just met her for the first time today. To do justice to her and her good work, we've asked her teacher, her fifth grade teacher who was working with her when this piece of art was created, we've asked her to introduce Alexus and maybe other family members as well. So our young artist is Alexus Stouffer, but I'm going to ask her teacher to come forward and tell us a little bit more about her, Tiffany Laux. Tiffany? And Tiffany is at the Lincoln Way School in the West York School District. I got all that right. Okay, go ahead.
It's a great honor to be able to recognize a student like Alexus. I have the privilege of being the elementary art teacher in the West York Area School District. I work between two buildings, Laux and Lincoln Way. Laux is a K-1 building and Lincoln Way is a 2 through 5. In my unique position, being able to see the students grow from kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade, did have a great opportunity to get to know Alexus through the years. I told her, in fact, the other day I was over at the K-1 building and I found a piece of her artwork that I still use as an example in 1st grade. So she was identified for her creativity and talents even back then. So it was a huge honor and surprise for me to find out that her artwork was selected for the promotional materials. She was very excited when we had the Youth Art Celebration in March, and her artwork was selected then among 5 other students at Lincoln Way. But this, by far, is a key honor for myself and for her to have it selected and to be out and about to promote what she's done. We did this as a self-portrait assignment. And 4th grade, they do a realistic self-portrait, and we really fuss and argue about proportion and all. We get really into it, and the students, it's a fight. So in 5th grade, this is their abstract self-portrait, so we kind of get to loosen up a little bit. The kids really enjoy that after all their hard work in 4th grade, and just realizing that this is a different kind of hard work. So she absolutely did a fabulous job, and I'm proud to announce Miss Alexus Stauffer, who is now in middle school at West York Area School District.
Congratulations. Want to give a speech?
Thank you.
She just declined the opportunity to give a speech. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that was great. And again, thanks to Alexus and her parents and her teacher for being with us today, and her grandmother. I forgot that as well. Thanks for everybody coming out today.